What was it like working with Woody Harrelson?
Bro, what a cool dude. What a legend, you know? I didn't know what to expect from Kevin or Woody or anybody on that set. I just knew that I was going to go in there, I was going to work my ass off, and I was going to show up, say my lines, do my thing, train my butt cheeks like crazy, and then walk off set and make sure that I left a good impression. And we're in the pandemic, everything's shut down. I finally get the call that we're flying out after I've been training with the stunt guys in the Green Beret for the last month. And you and I trained for a little while. We should talk about that too.
We did. Taught him everything he knows.
Everything.
Oh, there you go.
Until he learned everything he knows.
It was the man from Brock, really. It was his original name.
Brock Anto.
That's actually great. I want to watch that show. We have that coming. It's the beard thing.
Oh,
Brock Anto.
Yeah, that's it.
But I finally get the call that I'm like flying out, and we booked the tickets and everything. And it's announced that I cannot fly anybody in with me. No assistant, no like Tyler, my camera guy, producer from all my YouTube stuff. My girlfriend couldn't come out. Nobody. And my actual assistant couldn't make it. They're like, absolutely not. Unless they're working for Sony, nobody's coming out.
Wow.
Super hard border crossing. It was wild. But I make it to the plane, check in. I'm like, it's finally happening. This has been 6 months in the making. And I see our buddy Curran, Cur Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And
did I introduce you guys?
No, I met him on the plane, but he's like, I know you through Brock, but we've never met.
That's awesome.
And
I love Curran, dude.
He's such a nice dude.
Dude, so good.
He was such
Red Hood. He plays Red Hood on Teen Titans.
Got it.
Robin
Yeah.
Hood.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about him for sure. And obviously like.
Yeah. That was the comic book I just bought.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then another guy, Paul, who played, what was the Clint Eastwood movie where he got accused of like blowing up the stadium or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah. Richard Jewell?
Yeah, Richard Jewell. So Paul, he's the guy in that. And we're all like sitting on the plane together and we're talking. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, is that Woody Harrelson over there? And I was like, nice. I'm shooting a movie with him. I got to go introduce myself really quick. And they're like, fuck you. And I roll up and I'm like, this is a cool moment in my life. I get to meet Woody and like tell him that we're working together. And I'm like, hey man, you don't know me yet. And he goes, a man from Miami. Good to meet you, baby. I just looking on you. You look good, baby. It's good. I was like, what's up, man? What are you doing? Like, how'd you know who I was? Yeah, bro, I looked you up on IMDb. They sent me some videos of you training. You look like a badass. I was like, bro, this is awesome. Like, this is so not what I expected. I was just going to do a handshake and a wave and goodbye. And we're sitting right next to each other. And he goes, oh, well, you want some blueberries? And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I want blueberries with Woody Harrelson. What's up? And we're sitting there, we're chopping it up and we're hanging out. And I was asking about like kind of his career and everything that he's done. And I was talking about what he was just doing before we started this and came out to do this. He said, oh man, I was out in an agave field and I chopped my Achilles tendon off. And I was like, what the fuck? This is a hard right turn. And he goes, I had 1% of it left on. And he sticks his heel on the top of the seat. And the back of his ankle is completely just shredded from one of the agave cutter axes.
No.
And there's stitches going all the way around. And he's like, and it's swollen and it's fresh. This was like 3 days ago.
God.
He's like, I just got out of surgery and they just put me back together. They said if I'd cut it any deeper, I would have had a tendon up in my kneecap. And I was like, bruh. Are you going to be able to make this movie? You have so much action in this. And I've been training for a month. He's like, just do it. I'll just get out there and make it happen.
Wow.
That
is a tough SOB right there.
Right?
Dude.
And he's not 20, he's not 30, he's not 40. He's older. Like he's been doing this a long time. And for him to just like champ it up like that. What? And then we went into 2 weeks of quarantine and everybody slowly lost their minds.
I mean, that's good for his Achilles heel.
100%.
Right? Achilles tendon.
Yeah, rest it up.
Damn.
Jeez Louise.
What a badass,
right?
dude.
And then just once we were on set, coolest dude. He was like, what's up, man? You want to hang out? You want to come over after? And we get chewed out by like Sony and some of the 80s every once in a while when we'd hang out outside of our little tents. Like,
Everyone's trying to keep it safe.
Oh man, we got yelled at so many times. I was like,
But weren't you like tested all the time and like
Oh, yeah.
all that? So it's like probably one of the safer places you could be.
easily one of the safest places you could be. We test every day,
Yeah.
nasal, spit, every day.
Wow.
And
It was the same thing on set with Righteous Gemstones. No
Really?
matter what, these young kids that are like interns or PAs,
they're
or
like 15 years old yelling at you. Bro.
I'm like, I can't breathe.
I have prosthetics on.
I am 200 feet away from everyone in a corner. Why? I was fine until you walked over here. I was safe.
Please move away from me and give me 6 feet.
I totally understand it. And
brutal.
obviously, you know, in order to keep doing what we want to do, it needed to be done. But yeah, it was
It's awful.
Yeah.
It was a terrible, that part of the experience. We had, and this is nobody's fault. This is a global pandemic. So I don't want anybody to feel like they're getting called out by any means. We're shooting in the middle of a pandemic and we had like, I remember this one guy, the sweetest dude in the world. And I don't want to say his job was, but he worked his ass off, as was everybody on this set. We didn't see our friends. We couldn't see our family. Nobody could come visit. So we're slowly like decapitating ourselves on set and just like losing it. And this guy has one thing goes wrong and somebody, you know, there's a breakdown. As soon as we hit quarantine, the heads of each department like really lost touch with each other. And there was a lot of miscommunication that started happening because you're doing it all over Zoom calls and there's no like in-person meeting of any kind. So you're hoping that everybody got the same intel. And he missed like 3 key pieces of information that they'd like set up a week ago, but never told him. And he lost it on set. You know, it's
Oh man.
4 or 5 a.m. We've been shooting for already 8 hours at this point. And he's like, nobody fucking told me. And he throws his stuff on the ground. And he's like, I try so hard and I'm working my ass off and I want to make this work. But if you guys don't tell me anything, But half the crew knew, half the crew didn't. And it was one of those moments where you're like, this is a pandemic. This is hard.
Yeah.
This is a rough experience, no matter how hard we're working on one of these little things. And well, it was not little. It was a lot of money, but it's one of those stressful moments where you're like, but then Woody came on right after that and was like, what's up, guys? What are we doing?
Cheers everyone up.
Oh, it was so great. Let's just say, obviously we all know Woody likes to smoke weed. He is not shy about saying that.
Yeah, he's public about that for sure.
Totally public. And one of the funniest moments that I saw is Woody rolls up and again, his tendon's been cut off. He's got no ankle, like the Achilles is toast. And he looks at me and I'm like kind of giving him a rundown of like the action sequence that we have together right now. Cause I'd been training and so I know all of my stuff and he just rolled in like 3 days and was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go let's wrestle. Let's get it. And he's like, what are we doing? And I was like, oh, we got this whole chase sequence. And this is the diving over the edges and like all the major parkour stuff in the atrium. And he goes, wow. You think I could smoke a little weed? And I was like, why are you asking me, bro? What do I know about you smoking weed on set? And he was like, I don't know. Do I have any lines? I was like, I'm pretty sure you have lines. We're yelling at each other right now. He's like, fuck. And then he goes over to the director, Patrick, and he goes, hey, my ankle's kind of hurt. Can I smoke a little weed? Patrick was like, mate, it's 4 a.m. We have to fucking shoot this shit or we're going to lose the location. No, you can't smoke it. And it was the funniest exchange that I think I'd seen on that set at that point where I was just like, Woody is clearly in pain. He wants to smoke some weed, gets his mind off things. He's so chill. He's relaxed and everybody's stressed out at this moment. And he's like, what's up? Can I smoke a little bit?
I feel the director on that too of like 4 a.m. Just like, let's just get it done.
Yep.
Like you're good after. Like,
yeah. So you go home, you can smoke all you want. It's just make it through this little moment. And I think weed had just become like legalized medically in Toronto at that point. So it was like way easier to access, but it was still kind of like that weird gray line of all the things that were kind of happening around that point. But fun time at 4 a.m.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio 22.